So suppose there is a magnetic field in space, and I have a dipole. So basically, whenever there is a dipole present inside a magnetic field, then what will this dipole do? Will this dipole undergo certain torque, which is given by M cross B, right? Yes or no? So whether there is one dipole or whether there is many number of dipoles, all of them will undergo this torque, right? Yes or no, guys? So tell me this particular thing. What is the paramag? ये concept I think everyone knows. कि whether there is one dipole or whether there is multiple dipoles, all of them will experience a torque, and due to this torque, they will try to rearrange themselves in the direction of magnetic field. So after some time, if you will see this dipole will become like this, right? Due to this torque, the dipole will rotate and it will align itself in the direction of magnetic field. ये सबको पता है. I'm assuming that you people know this concept, right? Now, what is paramagnetism? Paramagnetism is a phenomena in which all atoms or molecules, whatever, of a material which has a zero, sorry, which has a non-zero magnetic moment. So I taught you about the materials, right? In the previous class, we discussed about diamagnetism for a material which was not having some initial the magnetic moment, right? But I'm talking about those materials where there is some non-zero magnetic moment, right? So paramagnetism is a phenomenon in which all atoms or molecules which have a non-zero magnetic moment align themselves along the direction of external magnetic field applied, and it also produces certain induced magnetic field in the same direction of external magnetic field. What was happening in the case of diamagnetic material? Initially the material was having a zero magnetic moment, and they were when you passed the current when you passed the magnetic field through it, then the dipoles, the magnetic dipoles were formed, and they were induced in the direction opposite to the external magnetic field, right? In the case of paramagnetism, just opposite happens. Can you see, the material should have a non-zero magnetic moment, and due to the field, these dipoles, they align themselves in the same direction of the external magnetic field. So this whole phenomena is basically called as what? This whole phenomena is basically called as what? Paramagnetism. Please remember, even this material will have what? I'll try to draw a diagram. Don't worry. Even this material will show a certain degree of diamagnetism, because diamagnetism happens in every possible material, right? Almost every material it happens. But since diamagnetism is a weak phenomena, So paramagnetism will supersede. In this particular. Is this clear, guys? So basically, suppose if you have a. Acha, are you writing along with me, guys? Please, whenever you're done, just tell me. Acha, please remember the initial non-zero magnetic moment which is present. It should be very small, है ना? But it will be there. It will be very small, or almost you can say it will be negligible. Chal. Now, suppose this particular thing, guys, ki if I have a paramagnetic block, just like I had a diamagnetic block in the last case, right? So suppose this is the paramagnetic block in which there are, these small dipoles whose direction is randomly oriented. So can you see randomly oriented diagram? So initially it will be having the total magnetic moment, which is basically the sum of individual magnetic moment of every possible molecule or atom, all the atoms will be approximately equal to zero. Approximately zero, not zero actually, you know. The initial magnetic moment is approximately zero. Now tell me what will happen when I'll place a magnet. Suppose this is a magnet which I am placing, and this magnet is creating an external magnetic field, B external, whatever it is. Yes or no? So if I have a magnet which is placed here, then what will this magnet do? What will this magnet do? This magnet will produce a magnetic field in space whose direction will be in this direction, right? So due to the presence of magnetic, this magnet, all these dipoles which we are seeing over here, all these dipoles will experience certain torque, and they will rotate themselves and align themselves in the direction of external magnetic. Clear? So the final magnetic moment, the total final magnetic moment won't be zero. Clear? So since all of them are inducing in the same direction, can I say this will be the final magnetic moment? This will be the final magnetic moment, right? So if it behaves, sorry sir, no problem, Vaishnavi, it's fine. So since the net magnetic moment is in this direction, so can I say this will be the north pole, this will be the south pole over here? As we all know, the magnetic moment is always from south to north, right? Yes or no? Are yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So can you see this particular thing near the north pole of the magnet, the south pole is induced. So basically, what will these two blocks do to each other? They will both experience a force towards each other. Okay. So I can write it over here. Once you draw the diagram, just tell me. Since the final dipole moment of the block is in same direction of external magnetic field, hence we can say that the block and the magnet both will attract each other unlike a diamagnetic block. What was happening in the case of diamagnetic block? Where they were repelling each other, right? अरे हाँ ये ना. So is this clear, guys? How a diamagnetic substance will behave itself, right? Then is paramagnetism clear to you guys? Whenever you're done writing, just tell me. Guys, whenever you're done, tell me.
Done, sir.
Next heading. Don't write ferromagnetism as of now, or do you want me to deal with ferromagnetism over here first? Hmm? We'll do ferromagnetism later. Let's discuss something else. Sorry. So write the heading: magnetic magnetic field, or basically magnetic induction or magnetic flux density inside a paramagnetic or inside paramagnetic and diamagnetic material. We'll see both of them. Sure. Please give this heading. Now see this thing very clearly, guys. Okay, whenever you have a diamagnetic block, what is the direction in which the what is the direction in which the this thing induces, right? So for example, if I have a diamagnetic block over here, so suppose this is a diamagnetic block and this is the external magnetic field. So whenever there is a diamagnetic block placed in an external magnetic field, let us name this external magnetic field as V0. Chalega? I'm naming this external magnetic field as V0. And similarly, if I have another the same magnetic field, but now I'm placing a diamagnetic की जगह पे I place a paramagnetic block. So if I have a magnetic block over here in the same external magnetic field, now can anyone tell me what is the direction of induced dipoles? In the case of diamagnetic substance, can you see the dipoles were induced in the opposite direction? Do you remember this part, guys? The dipoles were induced in the opposite direction in the case of diamagnetism. But in the case of paramagnetism, the dipole, all of the dipoles, they got rotated, or they got aligned in the direction of external magnetic field. So we know this already. Yes or no? Due
Yes.
to these induced dipoles, or due to these dipoles, can I say there is a magnetic field inside created because of these dipoles? So inside there will be a magnetic field induced in this direction, and here there will be a magnetic field induced in the same direction, right? Magnetic field induced in opposite direction of V naught. Here in this case, magnetic field induced in the same direction of V naught. If I choose any one particular point inside the block, at any one particular point inside the block, what is the net magnetic field? The net magnetic field is, let's name it as B, without anything. Is basically here in this case, will it be equals to B naught minus Bi? Yes or no? Yes,
Yes,
or no?
sir.
And the direction will be in that direction. Or in spite of doing this, can we generalize it like this? Suppose the net magnetic field inside, will it be equals to B naught plus Bi vector? Can you see vector addition we are doing? So here in this case, the magnitude, since they are in the opposite direction, it will become B naught minus Bi. And in this case, the magnitude will become B naught plus Bi. So is this clear to you? Is this clear, guys? Okay, what is the net magnetic
Yes,
field
sir.
inside the block? So this magnetic field is B inside, है ना? At any point. Magnetic field inside any point. Inside a point in the diamagnetic block. लिख लो इतना. Also note here the net magnetic field will be less than the external magnetic field, and here the net magnetic field will be greater. Why is this characteristic developing? Because of this induced magnetic field, whether it's in the direction or it's in the opposite direction. Clear?
So what is B inside?
B inside is the net magnetic field inside at any point. Don't write inside if you don't want it. But please assume this particular thing. Assume kya? Here we want to find the net magnetic field at a point inside the block. See, in the heading also only I gave, no? In the heading I wrote, let me see, inside the block. Okay, so please note this thing. Okay, done. Everyone noted down. Sure. So next heading, okay? Please write down the next heading. Intensity of magnetization. Intensity. This process is magnetization only. Can you see in this particular thing? What is the magnetization process? Magnetization is basically the process in which you are inducing a inducing a magnetic field inside a substance. You understand magnetization, right? That magnetic field can get induced in the opposite direction or in the same direction depending upon what kind of block it is. Okay? Magnetization is process in which you are creating a magnetic field inside inducing a magnetic field inside a substance. Anyways, so suppose what is this intensity of magnetization? Please remember the after magnetization, सबसे पहले मैं लिख ही देता हूँ चलो. Magnetization is the process of inducing a magnetic field inside a block by placing it in external magnetic field. The field can be in the same direction or opposite direction depending upon the material. So magnetization is basically that process. What is intensity of magnetization? You remember this particular thing. Suppose if example के रूप में if I say it's a paramagnetic substance, and if it's a paramagnetic substance, then if I have a block and I place this block in external magnetic field, then can anyone tell me what will be the direction of the induced dipoles? The induced dipoles will be in the same direction, right?
Yes, sir.
So due to these dipoles, there will be a net dipole moment final, right? So the final dipole moment, I am saying it is basically the total magnetic moment final is basically what the summation of individual moments, right? Yes or no? So what is basically this I? Intensity of magnetization is defined as the total magnetic moment of the block after magnetization per unit volume of the block. So the definition I think would make sense if I write it in the this form. Acha, this is again a vector quantity denoted by I vector, and this will be my OneNote screen stopped working. Wait a second. Yes. Intensity of magnet defined as the total magnetic moment of the block after magnetization per unit volume. लिख लो.
Can you speak a little up, please?
Sure, no problem. 2 minutes.
So is it after magnet per unit volume?
It is after magnetization. After magnetization, I didn't write the whole thing. So please remember, in this thing is denoted by I vector. Intensity of magnetization is denoted by I vector, and this is basically equals to what? The summation of the total magnetic moment, or the total magnetic moment, which is basically what? This, do you remember this? Per unit volume of the block. Okay, can you see it is denoted by I vector? Please remember, it is a vector quantity. And its direction is same as the magnetic moment of block after magnetization. Okay, is this clear? What is the unit of this? The unit will be, do you remember this magnetic moment was basically ampere meter square. The ampere meter square divided by meter cube will be ampere per meter. So this is ampere per meter. Okay, So basically, what is the physical significance of this particular thing? It is a measure of the strength of a magnetic field produced or basically induced by the dipoles of the medium which is getting magnetized. So जो भी magnetize हो रहा है, whichever block is getting magnetized, basically whatever is the magnetic field strength due to the dipoles of that medium, that will be denoted by I. So basically, I will give you a measure of that. More the stronger field produced by these dipoles, the value of I will be higher. Okay, Satvik, clear? Physical significance.
Yes, sir. It's clear.
Please remember there is a relationship between relation between induced magnetic field and intensity of magnetization. So basically, always remember there is one relation between the induced magnetic field. So B induced is equals to mu naught times of I vector. And this is nothing but Tesla. Magnetic field is nothing but Tesla, right? Clear? Now, guys, do you remember when I was teaching in MEC, when I taught you about magnetic field strength? So I told you about this particular thing, that magnetic field strength has several names, right? Magnetic field strength, या फिर magnetic field intensity, या फिर magnetic flux density, या फिर magnetic induction. I told you, all of this are the same name for B vector, right? Which is basically the net magnetic field inside, net magnetic field in a region, right? Whether it's a block, whether it's a region, I told you the names are same, right? But actually, this statement is not always true. This statement is only true, matlab we can, all of these names are same only when B vector is called as magnetic field strength और ऐसे ऐसे all these names till the time it is in we have vacuum. Right? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So basically what happens when you come in this particular chapter magnetism, you define two different vectors. Hai na? You define two vectors, give the heading magnetic field vectors B vector and H vector. H vector is not a magnetic field, but still people call it. Let's write a little bit. You know this particular thing कि whenever a magnetic field passes through any material. So whenever a magnetic field will pass through any material, due to the magnetization of the material, the net magnetic field inside the material is different as compared to external magnetic field. Is this statement true? Guys, is this statement true? Hello.
Yes, sir.
So we already know that this statement is true. So when we talk about the magnetic field inside, the magnetic field is not actually magnetic field. It's inside. It's not equals to the magnetic field which is outside, right? External के बराबर नहीं है. So here, what people do to increase the confusion of students, they define one more physical quantity. So we define another quantity which is basically H vector for the external magnetic field. Please remember, this quantity is being defined for this external magnetic field. Okay, so H vector is being defined for B naught. Sorry. So we defined another quantity H vector for the external magnetic field B naught vector, which does not change with the medium. So basically for this external magnetic field, you are defining this physical quantity which will remain absolute. It won't change whether this field is in space or vacuum, or whether this field is passing through a material. Okay, that implies we define a vector H vector for B naught, which is same whether B naught passes through vacuum or B naught passes through a medium. Is it clear, guys? So basically we define one quantity which is for this external magnetic field. Whether this external magnetic field is passing through space, then also we'll have H vector somewhere over here. And whether this B naught vector passes through a block, inside the block. Can you see inside? Still also inside for this magnetic field, there will be this quantity H, which will be absolute. Does not depend upon whether it is space or whether it is a medium. Is this clear? Please remember the value of the H is an absolute quantity for a given external magnetic field, and it does not change with respect to a medium, whether the medium is space or whether this is anything. This is called as your H, right? Now we have talked about the properties of H, but we have not given any name to this particular quantity. This H vector is basically called as the magnetizing field strength. Is this clear? And what is the relationship between this H vector and B vector? Please remember, guys, it is not defined for a material, it is defined for an external magnetic field, है ना? ये वाली quantity for an external magnetic field, this quantity remains constant whether the field passes through space or whether the field passes through a medium. It doesn't change. This thing will remain constant in both the cases. Okay, some other things will vary. We'll see what are those things. Okay, so for a given external magnetic field P naught in free space, and if I want to define in free space, H vector will be equals to what? Or a medium. H vector will be this B naught vector divided by whether it is free space or whether it is anything, you can define this, or you can say B vector B naught external is equals to mu naught into H.
So for free space, you said that it will remain the same, right? B naught.
Yes.
So why are we dividing it by mu naught again?
Mu naught is free space ka na? Free space ka the whole thing. Are just remember this thing. It basically acts as your intensity of magnetization. But since there was no medium, can you see over here? In that case, there was no medium. If there is a magnetic field in space, there is no medium over there, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
But still, magnetic field is going from one place to another place. Now, so can I assume there is an imaginary dipole in that free space somewhere? So for that imaginary dipole, I have to define another quantity which is analogous to intensity of magnetization. Just in the previous case, do you remember this? In the previous case, when I defined intensity of magnetization, can you see this was the magnetic field? I have to multiply mu naught into I. So this thing was defined for the material, right? Inside, this is the magnetic field induced inside. So for an external field, we are trying to define the same thing in terms of H. Okay.
Sir, yes, sir.
H and I will have the same units. Guys, please remember H and I will have the same unit, ampere per meter. Okay? अरे हाँ है ना. अच्छा, H is also called as, इसके बहुत सारे दूसरे भी नाम है. जैसे there is electromotive force, no? So H is also called as MMF, which is basically magnetic motive force. जैसे EMF का नाम देते हो ना, वैसे ही this H vector is also called as magnetic force. Okay, another name for H vector. Clear?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now what's the time? आज complete हो जाएगा guys. This will be over today. This chapter will be over today. Relation between B vector and H vector and I vector. Acha, this is also another vector quantity. The direction of H vector is same as external magnetic field. तो वो तो फॉर्मूले से समझ में आ जाएगा ना. Shall I need to define H is a vector quantity? Shall I write? It's fine. Done? Done? Hello,
Yes,
hello, hello.
sir.
Let's write the relationship between B, H and I in the case of magnetization of materials. We know this particular thing that whenever a substance is there, we just discussed about all of them, right? Whenever there is a substance and you place that substance in an external magnetic field, what will happen? Due to the production of induced dipoles, the net magnetic field will be basically the sum of these two, right? So
Yeah.
from here, can I write the net magnetic field inside a material or at any particular point inside a material only? The net magnetic field inside the material, can I write it as B naught vector plus Bi vector in vector form? Can I write it like this?
Yeah.
So from here, can I write B naught? We know B naught is basically equals to what? Mu naught times of H vector. And this is basically mu naught times of I vector. Yes or no? So from here, B vector is basically what? The net magnetic field is basically H plus I don't know what was the need of defining a new vector, but still they did. I think, since they defined I for inside, so they wanted to define something for outside as well. So that's why they had to, introduce one more physical quantity, and that's the main purpose of H. This is what I think, है ना? ऐसा जरूरी नहीं.
So can't we put I itself for outside also?
So
Like,
can't
what
we
difference-
put I itself as outside? मतलब नहीं ना. I is the property of that material, no? I is the property of that block, and since that block is responsible for the induced magnetic field, no? So I can't put it outside, no? Because outside is different as compared to the block.
Okay,
This
sir.
question came to my mind also, ki sir, why do I need another physical quantity if can't I just use I only? But since everything is different, no? The material inside the block has a different set of physical properties. The medium outside has different set of physical properties, right? Yes or
So
no?
for B is equal to mu naught I, the mu naught will be for free space itself. Only
Yes,
I will change.
it will be for free space only.
Okay.
इसका reason even I don't know कि why it is mu naught. Even I don't know the reason for this mu naught. I need to dig deep into the chapter, then I'll understand someday. So कभी in case when I further study this chapter, then I'll tell you कभी मुझे reason मिला तो उसका. Okay. So anyways, this is the relationship between Here, what? I'll write everything. B vector is what, H vector is what. Is it clear?
It's clear, sir.
ठीक है. So, acha. So now, since remember it is in the vector form. So if someone asks for a paramagnetic material, and for a diamagnetic material, this B vector, can I write directly? We know the direction will be opposite, right? So we know this is B naught minus Bi. And finally, if I write this thing inside wala will be equals to H. Oh, sorry. Paramagnetic it is plus, and diamagnetic it is minus. So I think easy. Na? Don't need to remember this. If you can just remember this, then this is automatically done. Although you should be able to identify in the case of paramagnetic, Bi is in the opposite. In the case of paramagnetic, Bi is in the same direction as Bo, and here diamagnetic, it's in the opposite direction. Is the relation clear? Is the relation clear? So now there is one last term which I need to study. Is basically magnetic susceptibility. Magnetic susceptibility is denoted by when you draw an X, no, just the दूसरा C, no, उसको ऐसा नीचे खींच लेना. This is a Greek letter called as xi. I don't know, it's PSI or XI. दोनों में से कुछ है. It's called as xi. I don't remember, but it's generally it's called as xi. Whatever it is, I don't care the name pronunciation. You people can find it out there. What is this magnetic susceptibility? Please remember, it is a constant parameter defined for any material. So it is a constant parameter defined for each material. One more reason why I cannot write I and H to be equal, it's because there is this susceptibility. This susceptibility is basically the ratio of this to this. So for every material, I and H is not equal, no? So that is why we cannot define H as different. The H and I are not same for every material. For some material, it's different. So that's why we have to write H and I separate two things. So anyways, basically this is one quantity which is relating H and I. Susceptibility is one quantity which relates H and I together. Okay. So it is a constant parameter defined for each material. It gives us an idea about the ease with which the material can get more the value of xi more easily it gets magnetized. Third point again. So how do we define it? We define the susceptibility as the ratio of I to H. Susceptibility, please remember, it is a unitless, dimensionless constant, है ना? Can write it as dimensionless, unitless. Unitless ratio. Okay, so please remember, susceptibility is the ratio of I and H. You can also write I is nothing but xi into H. Remember this is easier. So anyways, shall I write the definition as well? It can be defined as the ratio of I to H, intensity of magnetization to the magnetizing field strength. Shall I write it like this? It's fine. Guys, is it fine if I don't write it in the words? Anna? So if I have any material, inside the net magnetic field is basically mu naught times of H vector plus I vector, right? Yes or no, guys? Can I write this mu naught as H को मैं H ही लिख देता हूँ? I can write this I as xi times of H. Can I write it like this from the definition of susceptibility? Yes,
Yes.
or no? Now for this material, do you remember kabhi bhi there was a material and you defined a magnetic field inside this material, so you said what? So this magnetic field will be basically mu r into mu naught times relative permeability, right? Yes or no? So here this B, I can write it as mu times of the H vector. I told you na, H vector will remain same whether it's in a medium or it's in a free space. So can you see H vector I made same, but can you see this constant parameter mu naught, it changed. H remains same for a medium or free space. So can you see when the object was outside in a medium, so can you see over here this magnetic field inside the medium, I told it I wrote it as mu into H. I didn't write it as mu naught, right? So mu into H. So this mu I can write it as mu r into mu naught into H vector is equals to mu naught into H vector. I can take it as common. So H vector into 1 plus xi. From here H vector mu naught cut marega, and you know there is one very beautiful relation between 1 plus you know relative permeability and the susceptibility. Clear? क्लियर? इन दोनों के बीच का रिलेशन है. Always remember, for a paramagnetic substance, H and I are in the same direction, right? So the value of xi will be always positive. That implies mu r will be greater than 1. And always remember, for a diamagnetic substance, the value of xi is negative. Why is it negative? Because I, do you remember I is in the opposite direction? Arey, ye. Can you see over here? H minus I, H plus I. याद है? The same thing. Mu R should be. लिख लो. And just give me 2 minutes. I'll be back in 2 minutes. You know? View, zoom out, zoom out. Give me 2 minutes, guys. I'll be back. Chalo guys, done? Done guys? Now after this, let's discuss the ferromagnetism. So please write about ferromagnetism. Now there are certain specific materials like iron, carbon, cobalt, nickel, etc., etc. These are called as magnetic materials. Do you remember this?
Yes, sir.
है ना? So Phi, Co, Ni, etc. They are basically called as magnetic material. They have possess this property to get attracted to a magnet, right? So here, in case of Phi, Co, Ni, or basically other atoms, they have initial non-zero magnetic moments in atom. Matlab in generally we told you about this particular thing, no? Okay, since there are lots of electrons here, these are heavy metals, right? So basically, there are many electrons, there are multi-electronic systems. Hence, each individual atom is also containing certain non-zero magnetic moment, and there is phenomena which is called as exchange coupling. So you can write, and in the solid lattice, due to a phenomena called as exchange coupling, it's just a kind of जैसे अपन have you seen a sheep? There is a herd of sheep, and what, let's say a bunch of sheep, one sheep decides to move in one particular direction, so a bunch of sheep also blindly follow that particular sheep, right? ऐसा एक phenomena देखा है ना आपने? Yes or no? So even in these lattices, this particular exchange coupling is basically the technical term given to, basically the same kind of phenomena. What happens ki suppose there are certain groups formed. So you can say in called as exchange coupling, certain atomic groups are formed in different pockets of a material. The magnetic moment in these pockets is in the same direction in that particular pocket. So I'll try to explain it to you. You understood this particular thing, certain groups are formed, right? So for example, suppose this is a ferromagnetic material, and these are the certain groups which I was talking about. Just give me 2 minutes. So these are the pockets which I was talking about, atomic pockets. And you know what is happening in this particular thing? Suppose there are many molecules which are there inside, right? Suppose these are some molecules. So this guy says ki I will have a magnetic moment in this direction. So due to this exchange coupling phenomena, all these atoms, they will blindly follow this particular atom, and they say ki bhai hum bhi isi direction mein will have our magnetic moments. So can you see different atoms will have different these, due to this exchange coupling, these pockets are formed in which the direction of the magnetic moment is same for every atom, right? अब जैसे for example here the atom will say कि we have decided to move in this direction. Here they will say we have decided to move in this direction. Here they will say I have decided to move in this direction. ये कुछ में ऐसा हो जाएगा. Yes or no? The magnitude may be different, but the direction is same. Is this clear, guys? Is the exchange coupling clear? मतलब not detail. We don't have this phenomenon in much more detail now. So due to this exchange coupling, the atoms, they decide to have magnetic moments in the same direction as as all the atoms in the particular pocket. So is this clear, guys? But can you see the magnetic moment for every one particular pocket is in the different direction as compared to a different pocket, right? Yes or no? The magnetic moment in the same direction in that particular pocket, but is different when compared to other pocket. These pockets are called as, these pockets or atomic groups are called as domains. And I told you about the grains, right? There are these grains. The grains is not a technical term. These domains are technical term, right? So basically each atomic pocket is basically called as what? A domain. And for one particular domain, the direction of magnetic moment will be fixed. But please remember, since it is not placed in an external magnetic field, so all of these domains will have a magnetic moment in such a way that the total magnetic moment, which is basically the sum of individual magnetic moment of a particular domain, is basically what, and this thing is approximately equal to 0. All of them are randomly oriented, so that is why the total magnetic moment gets cancelled out. Is this clear? Is this clear, guys?
I have a doubt. In like each atomic pocket, all the atoms will have same magnitude of
Same.
magnetic
Not
moment.
same magnitude, same direction. Magnitude may differ. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Magnitude may differ, है ना? ऐसा it's not necessary because we don't exactly know what is happening in, you might have seen, the momentum is basically different. Spin angular momentum is different for different atomic, different electrons, right? Chemistry में पढ़ा होगा तुमने. For one particular, there was one principle, no, in which you had something like this and you make it like this. ऐसा कुछ था ना? What was it? What was it called? This was called something, right?
Polys.
Poly is exclusive. No, this is not poly. This is not poly. This is something else.
Each have a different spin, yeah.
Huh.
That is poly.
Acha, हाँ, poly is exclusivity. Yes, correct. So, anyways, due to which their spin angular momentums will be different, and spin angular momentum different होगा, so automatically their magnetic moment will also be different. Done. So ये ऐसा हो जाएगा. अब now what will happen for an external magnetic field? If I apply an external magnetic field, what will happen? Take a second. So now when an external magnetic field will be applied, now what will happen, guys, when an external magnetic field will be applied? For simplicity purposes, I am only drawing some of the domains, है ना? इतने सारे नहीं बना रहा फिर से मैं. So what will happen when this ferromagnetic substance is placed in an external magnetic field? What will happen? Can you see the number of dipoles was too much? So all of the dipoles will now arrange themselves in the same direction. Can you see over here? Mostly all of them allow. It's not necessary. Some of them align in the opposite direction as well. But mostly every domain, they try to align itself in the same direction as the external magnetic field. Clear? Due to this phenomena, what happens? So when an external magnetic field will be applied, then all the magnetic dipoles arrange themselves or align themselves you can write all or most of them in the direction of magnetic field, due to which what will happen? There will be a magnetic moment developed. The magnetic moment will be developed, or you can say a magnetic field will be induced, whatever you want to say. दोनों में से दोनों सही. But can you see, due to these domains, these materials are highly sensitive to the presence of external magnetic field, here also the magnetic field, can you see this behavior is similar as that of paramagnetism, right? The behavior is same. Can you see on external application of external magnetic field, the domains or basically the magnetic dipoles inside these domains, they all arrange themselves in the direction of magnetic field. So what is the difference between paramagnetic and ferromagnetic? The only difference between paramagnetic and ferromagnetic is that here the value of Bi, the induced magnetic field inside the block, is way larger as compared to even the external magnetic field. Are you getting my point, guys? Vi
Yes, sir.
here is much more as compared to the external. Why? Because here the intensity of magnetization is way greater as compared to the magnetizing field strength. So that is why here in this case, for a ferromagnetic substance, this value of xi will be very great, very much high as compared to 1. Since I is greater than h, then xi, which is basically the ratio of I and h, is way greater than 1, right? कभी xi की value बहुत ज़्यादा बड़ी हुई, then since mu r is basically 1 plus xi, can I say mu r will be very, very high? Yes or no? So you can say in the case of ferromagnetic materials, the value of mu r is very. भैया सुनो तो सही.
Sir, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here only. Just give me 2 minutes.
Okay, sir.
So is it clear, guys? So basically what happens in the case of ferromagnetic material, the value of mu r is very high. वो क्या मेरा cook आया तो I need to tell him what exactly to make. So that's why. So mu r is very high in the case of ferromagnetic materials. Please remember, even थोड़ा सा भी magnetic field लगाओगे तो ये वाले materials will get way too much magnetized, right? that is why this is the reason why you use a soft iron core inside transformers. Inside the transformers, what basically happens, due to this mu r being very high, the magnetic field increases multifolds. So flux बढ़ जाता है. And even a small change in flux will create a huge EMF, and that is why this soft iron cores, we use inside the transformers, right? Is this clear? Is this clear? Hello?
Yes.
Ah.
Yes, sir.
So in the next class, we'll see something called as hysteresis and hysteresis loop. ज़्यादा बड़ा नहीं है, it's a very small topic. Hysteresis, I don't know the spelling. Hysteresis loop, whatever. So we'll see this topic, and that will be the end of your chapter magnetism and matter. So after that class, we'll be starting with AC, alternating current. Okay?
Yes, sir.
चलिए ठीक है.
Sir.
So anyways, there was some small thing. Magnetic levitation भी था बताना, but it's okay. Magnetic levitation not that important. ठीक है guys, okay. Thank you very much. We'll see you again.
Thank you, sir.
Okay,
Thank you,
bye-bye.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Sir, when can I call?
कल कर ले, अब दिन में कर ले कर कॉल. तेरे को बोला ना दिन में
ठीक है,
call
वही
कर ले,
टाइम 2 बजे.
हाँ, कर
Okay,
ले, कभी भी कर ले, दिन में कभी भी
Friday
करेगी,
को.
नहीं मिलूंगा.
fine.
Sir, we have an extra class in school on
Till when?
Saturday from 11 to 12:30. So I can't write the paper then. Can I do it in the evening?
चलेगा, okay, no problem.
Okay.
So I
Thank
think
you.
the same will go for Ovia, you
Ovia
and
and
Pavitra.
Pavitra as well.
What
Yeah.
about Evil?
I don't know, sir. It's only for our class.
ठीक है, चलो, no problem.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem.